All right, thank you so much, Broadsville. Yes, we have Glenn Fromer with us, and he is with Ride for PKD, polycystic kidney disease. We've got the trustee transportation that got him from San Francisco all the way to Cape Cod in what, about 100 days over the summer?
100 days of riding. That's correct. 5,542 miles, 100 days of cycling. Beth and I were on the road for 20 weeks. Pushed these pedals 1.46 million strokes to get from San Francisco to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, which we just finished on Labor Day weekend.
Well, it was so fun. It's been so fun to follow his journey as well, because we talked to you in the spring in April when you were kind of doing your kickoff party. You rolled up on your bike on a very cold spring morning, and you did a ton of training before you even embarked on this journey. You worked with a training professional to get you ready for this, and then we got to see you in the middle of the summer when you came through Colorado as well.
Yeah, major kudos, Tricia. Thank you for having me multiple times. It was a morning just like this morning, temperatures in the 30s in early April, right before we kicked off the ride. And yeah, we spent 20 weeks on the road, and now we're back here in Vail. Couldn't be happier to be back home, which, by the way, after cycling through 18 states, and as I said, over 5,500 miles, I recognize that the very best riding in the United States is right here in Colorado. Maybe everyone already knew that, and I didn't have to prove it over 20 weeks, but certainly the most spectacular views, the greatest roads, the awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping vistas that we have here in Colorado. I just encourage everyone who's here to go out and enjoy it, because there's nothing like it in the United States.
Especially right now with the fall colors. And you rode through some very beautiful areas, from the coast along California, iconic spots like Grand Canyon, and some of the great parks in Utah.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful spots. There were a number of highlights in every state. Of course, I did have to get through Kansas and Missouri. Love the people of Kansas and Missouri, but the cycling there is very uninteresting, flat, straight, kind of humid, hot.
You crank the tunes.
Yeah, somewhat boring. There's a reason why they call those states the flyover states. You're not supposed to cycle through them, you're supposed to fly over them. But beautiful country, really nice people all along the way. We met incredible people during the journey, both those who have PKD or work in the PKD field, but also just very generous people who'd never heard of the disease before, but wanted to jump on the bandwagon and help support the cause. So we were really very lucky to meet as many great people as we did.
Oh yeah, and you know what? And this is for a cause, PKD. So you were diagnosed with this in 2014, and you didn't know much about it either. So it's not a well-known disease.
Correct. Yeah, there are 600,000 Americans today who suffer from this disease. It's a genetic, inherited disease where cysts are forced to grow on one's kidneys until the cysts choke out the kidney function. Now, the disease impacts people in many different ways. I met a couple in California, Emily and Justin Strauss, who became sponsors of the ride, who unfortunately lost their son Austin at 37 days of age to PKD. I met teenagers who were already on dialysis, young adults in their 20s who had not one but 2 kidney transplants, and I also met people in their 60s and 70s who still retain kidney function. We're all part of the PKD community, but it impacts each and every one of us differently. And what we've tried to do with the ride is really 4 major priorities. One was to raise awareness of the disease. And Tricia, thanks to you and your broadcasting colleagues around the country, we did more than 20 interviews around the country where we got the message out about PKD and told people, if you feel kidney pain, flank pain, if you have kidney stones, blood in your urine, go have your kidneys checked out. Have them imaged, because you may very well have either chronic kidney disease or polycystic kidney disease, and you can help yourself with an early diagnosis to intervene. So raising awareness, we feel good about that.
And then raising money for research, and you got to talk to so many researchers across the nation, and you're going to have a call this Wednesday, kind of a celebratory call, and just a recap of what went on with the ride and kind of what's going on with the research and where this money is going to be going towards. And you know, that's one thing you found, is there is still a lot of research that needs to be done, and it takes funding to do that. You're super close to your fundraising efforts, and September is PKD Awareness Month, so we're taking advantage of that. We've got a couple more days left before the end of the month.
Exactly. So we are today, as of this morning, $615,000 either collected or committed towards our goal of $640,000. That would fund 4 additional research grants into PKD. But we're $25,000 short as of this morning to meet that last 4th grant. So as you said, on Wednesday, and you can check this out on our website at rideforpkd.org, we're having a celebratory Zoom call open for everyone. And you can understand by meeting the researchers in this disease and those who are afflicted by it exactly what the disease is and where the money is going. And I also want to announce here on your broadcast that any donations that come in between now and the end of the month, because you said it's PKD Awareness Month, I will personally match dollar for dollar to ensure that we get over that $640,000 goal.
All right, Glenn has said it right here. He's going to personally match this amount. So help us get to it. We've got to the 30th. So just a few more days of this. Oh, this is super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Glenn, before we go, high point, low point. What can you tell us?
Well, high points are definitely around being met by friends and family along the way. We had so much great support for Beth and I along the way. By the way, Beth, MVP, my wife,
Yes.
She drove a 34-foot RV towing along a Jeep with 5 bikes attached to it. She's a complete stud, really the MVP of the Ride for PKD. But we met friends and family all along the way who came out to support us and join us in the ride. And so I'd say that was really the highlight. It filled my heart with love and support, which I really didn't expect when we started the ride. Low points, we had quite a few, but really the first 2 days in the RV, and this is first 2 of 20 weeks on the road, were disastrous from both an RV perspective and a riding perspective. I rode around in circles, we damaged the RV. I thought we would never make it out of California, much less all the way to Cape Cod. So we really had the toughest part of the journey early on, thankfully. And the rest of it, once we got sort of very normal to us and we got good at it, the ride was a complete joy. And I woke up every morning knowing that we were riding for the right cause to raise money for those who suffer from PKD, and that was the inspiration all along the way.
All right, well, Glenn is back home in the Vail Valley. Have you been on your bike much?
I actually have. I rode up Vail yesterday on my mountain bike to enjoy the beautiful colors. The cycling part of this was a complete joy because we knew we were doing it for a good cause. And yeah, by the way, it's nice to sit on a nice bench instead of this 4-inch wide saddle. My butt thanks you very much for having me sit down here.
Okay,
it's great
awesome.
to be home.
So if you want to join the call on Wednesday, what time again?
Yeah, it's a 5:30 Mountain Time. You can go to rideforpkd.org and register for the call. There's no cost to it at all, but you'll understand how we're connecting the donations we're raising to the essential research that's going on across the country.
All right, well, Glenn, thank you for all that you're doing for this cause and how you're pushing research forward. And thanks for riding across the United States for this. And I'm glad you're home safe. Welcome
Tricia,
home.
thank you for your support. It's been fantastic. I really
All right.
appreciate it.
Oh, good to see you. I'm back again.
To see you.
All right. Thank